My thoughts on why big cities don't improve, because like bad parts of town, right? So you have like really bad poverty in every major city, right? Like Orlando and Philly and Columbus, Ohio, where I currently am, and it's just like and I think I figured out why it's chronic and worse in bigger cities is because when you're like I'm living like out and it's nice out here, right? There's not It's just kind of out in the country, so I live out here. I'm like, oh, life's pretty good, right? And then when I drive into town, I drive through town, I could be driving around for hours in the city, um, and not hit like a nice part of town. And it's so when you live there and you work there and your friends are there and your gym's there, that's just your life. And so you just kind of give into the hopelessness and the shittiness of the situation. And you don't try to mow your lawn. You don't try to better yourself. And you just kind of like, life's just that way. It sucks. And that's the way it is. Then you kind of just give up. And then your neighbor sees you giving up and they're giving up, and it's kind of like a downhill spiral. So that's why, like, if you go to a smaller town, smallest towns I've lived in anyway, there were poorer parts of the town, but to go to work, you're driving through the beautiful neighborhoods and the beautiful buildings. And then if you're going to the gym, if you're going to the park to walk your dog, whatever, you're always in and around strong people who have their shit together. And then now, and so you're not like life's hopeless. So the bigger a city gets, the worse those poverty-stricken areas get, just simply because of the size of it and human psychology. Um, so yeah, I think that's why you have chronically bad areas in bigger cities, and why you can't fix it, and why people throw money at it and law enforcement at it, and it doesn't get better. It's because you're still getting up every day and you're seeing the hopelessness of it, and you're still giving up. You're not trying to do better because you live there and it sucks. So that's just, you're not aware that there's a better way of doing things. So, and that's not to say like there are no poverty stricken towns that are really bad that are smaller. It's just being bigger makes whatever area you have that's not great much worse. The bigger the city is, the worse it gets. So, I don't know a way to fix it other than to say, like, don't live in a big city. Take yourself out of that environment, and you can grow as a person and as a community. And I think humans just weren't meant to live in among population centers that are that big, because that's what naturally happens. I mean, if you look at every city in the world, that's what happens. A good part of it is really shitty and really depressing. So, stands to reason that's just human psychology. So, if you want to be happier and more successful, don't live in a big city, which is kind of like contradictory because it's like, well, there's more opportunities, but just try to live in as small a city as you can while still meeting other needs like finding a job and friends and stuff like that. So, yeah. So I think and I never hear anybody talk about that, so I thought it was worth mentioning. I think that's what's going on, why we have, really bad parts of town in big cities.